I'm gonna give a big shout out to the fire department for always keeping this creek on check. Every time there's a fire, these guys are here within a couple of minutes. Granted, they are right down the street. But what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we washed the CRX because it it was sitting very sadly over there between all of the wagons, super dirty, super caked up with the sap and the tree, the leaves and stuff. And I clay barred it, I washed it, and it is looking mighty fine. It looks a lot cleaner than it did before because of all of the imperfections in the paint. But the hood, I noticed the hood is kind of faded out a little bit. I neglected it. I let it sit in the sun, baked up and caked up. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to polish his hood up another day. I don't want to do it right now, but definitely going to polish his hood now that I have all of the better compounds and stuff. But today's focus is going to be on this car. I was supposed to work on this car yesterday, but the homies Caesar and Marcus came by to get some stuff to bring down to LAX to ship over to Hawaii. Big shout out to you guys for doing that for me. I truly appreciate it. Jeremy, the stuff is coming, man. So hanging out with them last night for a couple of hours, and then they headed south. I closed the garage up, and pretty much today we're gonna work a little bit on the Flip RX. I finally went and got the brake pads that I needed. It's funny because the online didn't mention anything about HF, and I was a little confused on why they didn't have HF. Finally got the brake pads that I needed for the HF. It is smaller than the regular SI. This one right here is the HF, and I bought new rotors for this as well 2-3 months ago. I actually bought the brake pads with this, but only the rotor showed up. It is brand new, and the brake pads never showed up. So I requested a refund after 3 months, and I finally went and got brake pads so we can finally finish up the brake system on the Flip RX so we can get it back on the ground. But before we even get that back on the ground after the brake system, we got to drop the fuel tank. I also did cycle the all-wheel drive CRX yesterday, and I moved it over here, put one of my old car covers on it. This is an OEM Acura DA car cover I got from the junkyard, and the cat decided they want to mess it up. So it's a messed up car cover, but it'll at least cover the car from all of this stuff. The same exact thing that happened to this car and the CRX. So hopefully when I have some free time later, I'm gonna pull this car back out, detail this car, get a new car cover, slap it on there, and call it that. I haven't driven this car in 3 months until yesterday, and I haven't been able to drive standard for the last 2 months since the accident, and my ankle it's mostly healed. I still have a little bit of strain on the back right here, but a couple more sessions, hopefully my ankle will be better to drive a more aggressive clutch like that car, because that hurt it yesterday just to move it. But much needed wash and detail since it sat for 3 months. Onto the rotors. If y'all didn't remember, I put brand new hubs and bearing because these were HF spindles that had 23 splines, and we upgraded to a 26 to do B series. So brand new wheel bearing, hubs, studs, all that good jazz. So I bought these from an online shop, and very well known, but unfortunately I didn't get my pads, so I opt for some O'Reilly ones. But these are just some regular blanks, the cheapest one on their website. These are HF specific because of rotor size. If you guys don't know, rotors for the HF is different than the SI and DX. This car originally had DAs, but I took them all off because it was super incomplete, and I took all of the HF spindle stuff, the trailing arm from this car, this is an HF, and swapped it over. So that means we're going to be using the matching HF calipers. I'm probably going to scrub this up a little bit before I install it, but again, let's get the rotor installed. Damn, that thing is looking fresh, boy. Looking fresh. I'll wipe all of the oil off of this once I get it secured. With the power of editing, I command you to clean these calipers. All right, that'll do. Now granted, I don't have a lot of cleaning detergent or oven cleaner or anything like that. I did the best that I could. The good thing is it is not as grimy as it was earlier, so this will do perfectly fine. Now I just got to find this one bolt right here to hold this caliper to the bracket, and the 17s that hold to the spindle. So I'm gonna go through my bin real quick, find all of that, and then we'll get it installed. And then the brake pads. Aha, caught it. Spins freely, but I think it's touching the little bracket down there. Yep, it is right there, a little bracket. Got the first retaining clip on the top and the second one on the bottom. Oddly enough, this only came with pads and nothing more. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. And I'm not worried about any fluid because there was no fluid in here to begin with. But because these are brand new rotors and brand new pads at maximum thickness, I'm gonna compress this piston all the way in. And there you have it. New rotors, new brake pads, new bearing, studs, hubs. This thing is ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna go ahead and just knock out the other side, and then we're gonna jack the back of the car up and toss it on jack stands. I am a hot mess right now. Nobody's home to help me bleed the brakes that I normally do. And no, I don't have the correct tool to bleed a brake. And the way I've been doing it has worked perfectly every single time. But my dilemma right now, I just cycled twice. Passenger rear driver, passenger front driver twice. And initially on the first and second bleed off, we have fluid. And then it's completely air after that. Same thing for this side, same thing for this side, and same thing for this side. Fluid comes out. And then the more I do the process, air just comes out. So I don't know if it's bleeding out the air and the fluid is not getting through. It did go low once earlier. I don't know if the fluid that came out was the old fluid that was in the car. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Probably gotta pump it a lot more and get the fluids cycled through. I've done it on this car, brand new front to back. That car, brand new front to back. That car, brand new front to back. And never took this long to get the fluids through the lines. So I'm gonna sort that out real quick, and still want to drop the tank today. So I went another round with the brakes. Still the same thing. I'm not sure if it's the hard line or it's the brake lines itself. Now, the HF rear trailing arm and the HF front spindle and caliper came off of this car. If you guys don't know, the giveaway car was a car donated to the channel from a local firefighter, and he had this car sitting for 15 years. 15 years. So I don't know if the brake lines are clogged up or whatever the case is. If it comes down to it, or actually I can't even switch brake lines because the back are drums and not disc. Anyways, if we don't take care of the brakes today, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it eventually. I already started pulling the tank out of this car. Now, if you guys are barely coming on now, and a lot of people has been hitting me up in the DMs about how much I'm gonna sell this car for, I just want to let you guys know again, this is a race car. There's no tub in here. It's completely cut out, and this is the spare tire well. Obviously, it's not here anymore. The quarters are cut as well too, but this is a race car. Now you can drive it on the street. you can drive it on the street, but I'm selling this car as an off-road use only car. So I got the tank dropped and I'm about to remove the hanger to see what fuel pump is in this car. By the looks of all of this, it might even be a stock fuel pump, to be honest with you guys, but let's see. Freaking stock. Somebody ran this car with E85 on the stock fuel pump. Let's order a fuel pump. So I placed an order for 2 Walbro 450s, 1 to have in stock, 1 for this car. Why? Because I'm going E85 in this car, or I want to go E85, so I'd rather have the pump be acceptable with E85 than to do it twice. So I am going to cut the video here with you guys. I'm going to diag this car a little bit more and try to figure out why the brakes aren't bleeding. And obviously I can't do anything with the fuel tank. It's just dangling there, fully covered up until the fuel pump comes in, which should 4th of July weekend, I don't know, it should be here next week or something. So in the meantime, I'm going to find some other things to do, obviously, with this car and everything else. But we made some progress today on the FlipRX CRX. We got the KRX cleaned up and now I can drive it. I mean, I can't go too crazy with this car. I can just drive it around town and just kind of get my leg used to it again. It's nice to see it here all cleaned up instead of all gunked up sitting over there with the other ones. But yeah, progress is better than no progress, guys. I don't know what's next, but we're gonna try to stay busy. So if you guys enjoyed today's video a little bit, be sure to leave this video a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for more, actually, hold on, I got one package I got from the PO box. Picked this up yesterday. It has no name on it, so let's open it up and see what's inside. Mini lockback utility knife. A mini one. I ain't never seen a damn mini one before. You guys know me, I always got my razor blade on me. Today I don't, because I switched pants today, but I always do. And my favorite one was lost when I was transported to the hospital. And this is cool because this is like a keychain, I guess, because it has this right here. So this is nice to have on deck. Hopefully the razor blades are nice and sharp. But there is, oh yeah, it's right here up in the front. Pocket knife for the homie. Thanks for the videos, Mike Craig. I appreciate this, man. Definitely gonna put that to use 100%. You know me, I love my razor blades in my pocket because you never know when you're gonna need it. So that is gonna be the end of this video, for real, guys. I hope you stick around, hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh yeah, one more thing. Got a task for tomorrow. Be sure to stick around and check this out.